Smile. There's a benchmark in supernatural psychological horror films where you're being chased by an unknown entity, with It Follows being the clear winner. Other recent films of note under that same subgenre of supernatural horror are The Empty Man. It came out about 2 years ago. The film had a real creepy intro which lasted about half an hour before the opening credits started to roll on screen. Veronica, that came out in 2017. It had a similar kind of ending to Smile. There was also a feel of the Blair Witch Project for the ending as well. And you know what? I'd throw in a sprinkling of Hereditary and Oculus. But with that being said, I'm sorry to say that Smile can't reach the scare levels or interesting story of any of the previously mentioned films. Bar Veronica, that film was terrible. And as a result, we're unfortunately left with a fairly boring film in Smile. So Smile, what's it about, you ask?
Smile's a story about a clinical psychiatrist who, following a bizarre encounter with a patient, begins experiencing these terrifying occurrences that she can't explain and starts to believe that something evil may have come into her life.
We start off with Dr. Rose Cotter, played by Sosie Bacon. And she has a young PhD in Caitlin Stacy, and she's complaining of seeing people constantly smiling at her in a really creepy way. Obviously, Rose Cotter doesn't believe her, but then ends up witnessing Stacy's character horrifically kill herself, and in return passes the demon onto her. Now Rose has this demon inside of her. She has to work out a way of getting rid of it before she kills herself in front of somebody and passes the demon onto someone else. I gotta say that the director tries really hard to make this film look better than the script. Like, the script is bad. Just really bad. The dialogue is so generic. First scene with our main character is just frustrating when she's already trying to diagnose a person she's spoken to for 10 seconds. How do you do that? How is that even possible? She can't talk to people properly and can't express how she feels. We could have got to the same place if she stopped bumbling about and deflecting. The story would have been much more cohesive and the main character would have had relatable qualities for the audience to latch onto. Support characters don't really bring much either. I mean, you got A-Train from The Boys, and he doesn't really get up to much. He's just there to keep the story going. Kyle Gallner is the ex-boyfriend who is probably the most interesting character. And I'm not saying that just because of his appearances in Smallville, alright? Jeez. Nice to see Cal Penn in anything. I mean, he's great though, as this sympathetic boss of Dr. Rose Cotter. At my cinema screening, there was about half a dozen teenage girls sitting in the back, and they seemed to really enjoy it, but they did question what happened at the end. For me, it made complete sense. Just goes to show that the general cinema-going audience want entertainment and probably not much substance to their films. Unfortunately, Smile didn't bring much to the table apart from poor copies of far superior films. Not much to smile about with this film, really. Yeah.